What is your perspective on risk? And do you have a way that you define it or a way that you think about it?
The way I think about risk is you have different levels of risk. You have custody risk. You need to make sure your assets are stored securely so they don't get stolen. Like when you do a trade on an exchange, you have the risk that the exchange gets hacked in the middle of the trade. Okay, how do you do the trade? Well, you send a small amount of money to the trade so that not a large chunk gets frozen. So there's things like that. Then there's risk of like the actual portfolio, what you own. A question I get a million times from like potential LPs is like, so do you guys short a lot? Because you're a hedge fund, well, hedge funds don't have to short, and some do. I think that's one question. It's like, I actually think it's fairly risky to short in crypto. I mean, if you're short Bitcoin, yeah, whatever, that's fine. Like if you're short like XRP or something, that asset's gone up 30% in some days. And so if you have a big short position, like you can really get wiped pretty hard if you're shorting something like that. So like when we want to short a position, for instance, we would buy put options versus actually going short it most of the time. There's also risk in DeFi stuff. A lot of people like to like yield farm. When you put money into like a liquidity pool, you have the risk that like, well, if you think the market's going to go up a lot, you might actually lose more money due to impermanent loss. For those who don't know, like the loss from like the price is basically moving around as you're market making, then you get from trading fees as profits. So like if you think the price of ETH is going to go way up, most of the time you probably should not market make 50% ETH, 50% USDC because like you're going to lose due to impermanent loss. That's like another risk to think about. And then I think like the last big category of risk you have is just classic stuff like size, concentration, sector risk, things like that. For instance, we've been very bullish DeFi over the years, but right now our liquid portfolio is a bit under, roughly, depending on how you count, a bit under 40% DeFi. A year ago, it was probably 60 or 70% DeFi. And it's like, why? Well, like right now, I think layer ones are going to outperform over DeFi. And then I think DeFi will come back, but it's just the market sentiment on it is a bit sour right now. I'm kind of rambling, telling you a million different things, but like those are some of the sorts of things that I think about when I start thinking about risk.